Again, everyone, this is Gilmer, and this is episode 3 of Civil War II. I say again, this is Gilmer, and this is episode 3 of Let's Play Civil War II. And I let the music play, the beginning music to finish before I started recording. I'm sure you've probably heard it enough times now to probably know it by heart. So let's go ahead and start this up, resume, and see what we're doing, and see if we're going to protect Pittsburgh from the attacks. Yep, we got the conscripts, so that's good. That's something that we needed. Camp Dick Robinson. The Union established a military camp near Lexington in neutral Kentucky as a show of force, named Camp Dick Robinson. There could be jokes made about that, but I'm not going to. The camp becomes a rallying point for the mountaineers of southeastern Kentucky and eastern Tennessee to join the Union forces. The establishment of Camp Dick Robinson was also the only excuse Confederate officials needed to place their own troops within Kentucky's borders. And Camp Dickinson is, if we span out a little bit, is where is that bad boy? That's it, Camp Dick Robinson. It's located in Lexington, Kentucky, and it's locked for now. And General W. Nelson, never heard of him. I mean, other than playing this game, I've never heard of him. Look at that. His head is a little bit too big for his body. Look at that. That's weird. He almost looks like a midget. I mean, you know, nothing wrong with midgets, but it just looks kind of strange that he has this huge head and the body looks like it's too small for the head. Anyway, sorry about that. I did not mean to, make fun of little people or anything like that. I'm very open to everybody, and let's just go on before I dig myself a deeper hole. At the outset of the Civil War, Kentucky did not secede, and Lincoln's calls for volunteers to suppress the rebellion was rejected. A proclamation was even issued on May 20th, 1861, asking both sides to keep out. Southern sympathizers were thus outraged to learn that the Union was openly enlisting troops inside the state, and Governor Beriah Magoffin immediately passed a resolution demanding the evacuation of Union forces and invited CSA General Polk or Buckner, if Polk has been removed from the game, to enroll volunteers under the flag of the Confederacy. A month later, Kentucky became the 13th state admitted to the CSA. I'm sorry, that name. Somewhere there's a joke in that name too. I know. Dick Robinson, Beriah Magoffin. I don't know. After 90 days, the first volunteer units were mustered out of service and reorganized. President Lincoln increased recruitment and called for 3-year volunteers. Yeah, I'm betting people really were enjoying that part. Tennessee. The Tennessee Secession Ordinance called for the election of congressmen to be held on the same day as the previously scheduled USA congressional elections. On the first Thursday of August, the voters went to the polls to choose congressmen for either Richmond or Washington. In the 4 eastern districts, the victors took their seats in the USA Congress. In the rest of the state, the 7 victors took their seat in the CSA Congress. Surprisingly, the losers acknowledged defeat and declined to take their vacant seats in Richmond or Washington. So Tennessee seceded. And that was that battle. This was a battle, Union defeat, Battle of Morgantown. Probably because I didn't have any commanding general, even though he crossed a river. The battle occurred with the attacker crossing the river. We still lost. And then Union victory, blah, blah, blah. So, Jefferson City I don't think it said anything about me taking Jefferson City. What was up with that? Okay. Tennessee elections, expiration of the first term. We read all that. One cavalry regiment raised to react to an enemy raid in Kansas. All right. Kansas Reaction Force. Kansas Defense. Now Sumner. 182. Let's go to Lawrence. Let's go back to Rolla. 3 days. $15. So it's going to take a little while to get to Springville, because when you're trying to go across land that is controlled by the Confederate states, it takes a lot longer. You don't control the railroad. It's almost as if you're marching across it. I don't want to lose Cairo, but look at there. George McClellan is actually active. Where do I want him? Or do I want him? Let's move him to New Albany. From that position, he'll be able to move this way or that way and protect, hopefully. This guy is on a train. Where is he going? Oh, he's going to Pittsburgh. That's where I would. And he is too. And he is retreating to this region right here that has other Union forces in it. That's not too good. This guy is still Looks like we're trying. Sorry, I'm probably shuffling the microphone around a little bit, and it's probably annoying as hell. And it's because I'm just kind of moving around and let's destroy rail. You cannot build a fort here. Well, you just won't let me do anything, will you? Well, what about this guy? He can't either. Huh. Oh well. Let's move him up. Now let's see what some of these other messages have told us. Not much. The 61 Division generals have reached Fauquier, Virginia. Oh, that's this. And they joined him. They didn't really give him too much more. Didn't really give him too much more command points. But, oh well. Union detachment in Jefferson, Missouri is unlocked. Okay. West Virginia Cavalry. New York. 1st New York is active. These militia, they really need to stay in their states, really. Colorado, USS Colorado, Jamestown. A lot of ships. 1st New Jersey. Rockland, New Jersey. See, these militia that are actually flagged as militia like this with a state on it are not very good outside their states, from what I remember. We're going to leave him there. St. Louis, Illinois Brigade is now ready in Salem. Let's move him down. And 1st Michigan Brigade. That's that guy. We're already moving him. So, one of the things about this game is you really have to understand, and I'm not saying I understand it perfectly, but one of the things you have to understand is moving troops where they're needed and in a hurry. And that's why having railroads and having plenty of railroad capacity is crucial. And that's one of the things that hurt the South. But one thing that they did where they actually used the rail to their advantage was the first big battle was at Bull Run, and the Union was doing pretty well. They were doing okay. They were turning the flank of the South at one point, but then I think it was Joseph E. Johnston, this guy up here, the Army of the Shenandoah. He was, on this map he was several regions away, but he moved by train by rail and ended up on the right flank of the Union and attacked the Union with 22,000 troops, I believe it was, and they ended up winning that battle. And it was a pretty good sized Union defeat, and it pretty much told everybody that this wasn't going to be just a 3-month deal. It was going to be a long, hard war, and the South wasn't just going to give up very easily. So that was their first hint that the South wasn't going to go down easy at all. And so they, that I think was one of the main reasons why Irwin McDowell was relieved, I believe, and McClellan was given the command of the Northeastern Army. And of course McClellan didn't do much better, and so at some point he was relieved, and I think he left the army altogether, and he was the Democratic Party representative in the 1864 elections supposedly, and he lost, of course, to Lincoln. So that's that. But if we're able to get this force inside Manassas to surrender, that will pretty much give me really a straight shot right into Richmond. There'll be nobody that can oppose me, can oppose this army, because the biggest army I see is this 546, and he's way out the hell out here. Looks like he's going for Pittsburgh, and I'll trade Pittsburgh for Richmond any day, because that'll be a huge blow. They either will move their capital to Atlanta, or they will, just lose it. I mean, either way, they're going to. If they lose Richmond, they lose a huge amount of. They captured Harper's Ferry. We took Jefferson City. That's where Nathaniel Lyon is. Either way, if they lose Richmond, they lose a huge amount of national morale. So I'll trade. Look at all these people. This is basically all these things that they captured in Kentucky was basically them moving into unoccupied areas, basically, because we weren't opposing them, and the only troops that we had in Kentucky at the time was at Lexington, and the rest of it was undefended, even though really Kentucky is joined the CSA, which is weird. You would think they wouldn't say that they captured cities that were in their own state, but let's see. What is there anything else that I wanted to do? Nope. New Jersey Volunteers, Baltimore Garrison, Union Detachment, 1st Infantry Regiment. Let's move them up. Actually, let's move them up here. That'll give us a little bit more forces in Manassas so that we won't be pushed out easily at all. Let's go ahead and process the next turn and see what we will see. I can't get over that name though, Beriah McGoffin. Surely he was ridiculed as a kid. I mean, I hate it if somebody is a descendant of Beriah McGoffin. I apologize, but that name kills me. It's just it makes me think of Jack Me Off. You know, I mean those kind of names. I mean it's just McGoffin. Okay, I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. I know it's been a long day. It's been a very long day, and I'm getting a little goofy or giddy or crazy. I don't know why I left that balloon sitting out there in a no man's land. I don't know why it's sitting out there to begin with. They're going to capture it. Actually, they're moving away. No, wait a minute. PGT Beauregard. Looks like they're moving some river boats up to Cairo, in the Cairo area. Joseph E. Johnston looks like he's pulling back from Pittsburgh. I don't know if that was good or bad for me. See, they look like they're converging on Cairo. I might need to reinforce it a little bit if I can. No corps before 1862. To represent the historical organizational difficulties and military thinking mentality and red tape, no corps are allowed to be formed before March 1862. Button is grayed out until then. However, you can create divisions if you wish, but only from October 1861, which it's not October 1861 yet. Note to all players, corps formation is explained on pages 33 and 34 of the manual, divisions on page 35. So, basically, this is it until whenever. McDowell is active this turn. Well, hippie hooray for him. General Patterson is not retained in command by W. Scott. He was horrible, I think. Congress enacts the first income tax law. A 3% tax on income over $800 is established, aiming to bring $20 million into the federal coffers. This is the first income tax in the USA. Congress enacted this Revenue Act of 1861 to pay for what is anticipated to be a short civil war. Famous last anticipations. Confiscation Act. The U.S. Congress issued on August 6th an act to confiscate property used for insurrectionary purposes. This act declared all property belonging to insurgents to be lawful subject of prize and capture wherever found. So basically, they're going to take land from people that they suspect are, Southern sympathizers. Most of them probably were, but even so, it seems a little against the Constitution, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a lawyer. Because of the huge stock of steel left untouched, the Secretary of War canceled a few contracts with private entrepreneurs. We may increase our rail pool again. Major General Fremont is awaiting a new command. Brigadier General McClernand is awaiting new command. A new Army HQ is able to be built in the reinforcement pool. New ships are entering service. Yes, they are. USS Augusta. Let's. The Atlantic Fleet. Where do we want to put the Atlantic Fleet? Well, there's got to be somewhere where we should be able to put them. Ooh, here we go. The shipping lanes or the Atlantic blockade. This David Farragut's a pretty well-known Farragut. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. It's probably Farragut or something. Born in Knoxville, Tennessee, age 60. Was adopted by U.S. Navy Commodore David Porter in 1808, stepbrother of future Admiral David D. Porter. Given command of USS Brooklyn in 1858, stationed at Norfolk, Virginia until April 61. I think he was fairly well awarded with medals for some of his actions. I don't know too much about him, but I expect him to definitely do a good job wherever he goes, because if he doesn't, I will sack him and make him move to Hackensack. This is scaring me. This is I'm gonna get that the hell out of there. We'll bring him down here and put him in with General McDowell's army. 18 of 18, so we've looked at all those. We made a breach in Manassas for a total of 2 breaches. Interesting. Are all these locked? That one is, that one is. Let's just include him right there. I don't care that we're overloaded on command points hugely. Yeah. West Virginia Command engaged Confederate States of America and Region Union Pennsylvania at day 7. We succeeded in retreating before battle in Union. Oh, that's right here. That's okay. As long as we protected Pittsburgh for now. I'm not too worried about that. I do want to get this guy the hell out of there, because Morgantown is sitting pretty for them to take. It's really exposed there. Well, my morale, look at their morale, 108. Why is their morale so high? My morale's gone up some too. Changes from options and events. Will to fight and national resilience. Okay. While patrolling Atlantic blockade, found Carolina runners, inflicting 14 hits and being hit 0 times from return fire. Way to go, Atlantic blockade. That's what you're supposed to do. So, Camp Dick Robinson is now active. McClellan is inactive. Naturally. Let's see. Fremont. Occupier. Sure, why not? Oh, he can be made an army. But, oh, wait a minute. Form an army. So you can make an army without an army HQ. I thought in Civil War One, at least, you had to have an HQ to form an army. It looks like anybody who's a 3-star is allowed to make an army as long as there's a 3-star there, you can make an army. So we'll bring him up here and made him up with General Nathaniel Lyon. And that'll be a pretty formidable force, because they'll have enough command points to command that whole army. He is just a 2-star, so he can't form an army. Do we have any other 3-stars that could form an army? No. There really hasn't been a big fight either that would let me promote anybody. Soldiers of Salt Lake City Militia. So the training of the 1st Field Hospital is finished in Philadelphia. 1st Field Office. Let's leave him out here. 1st Platooners, no. HQ Support, no. 2nd Pioneer, no. Bernie's Brigade, no. I need to build some troops. Let's build some sharpshooters. 1 for one army and 1 for another army, because I have 2 armies. Your control of region McCracken, Kentucky. Your control of region Sumner's, West Virginia. I'm not too worried about these places. Your control of region Springfield, Missouri. Oh. That was already under their control. I wonder why they're claiming that was under my control. And that's about it. And somebody was telling me, or probably Tom Fleming, was telling me I'm not doing these regional decisions, but I don't know. Counterintelligence, martial law, developed territory, habeas corpus. I mean, look how much it cost. 3 victory points. I mean, that's not that bad. But some of these cost a lot of money. Let's do one in Annapolis. Okay. So, see, I don't know about those things. I just don't really have too much belief in them. All right, let's save this turn, and then let's see. Wait a minute. Oh, these are locked units. E is the key I'm pressing right now. E. Oh, what to do with him? See that if you don't pay attention, or you don't do this, you'll have. See, I would have missed Bartlett's brigade. We definitely need him to come down. We'll bring him down here and match him up with General Schurz. Damn it. Okay, now we gotta go back through them all again. He's okay in Pittsburgh. 29. He's okay in Pittsburgh. He's okay. No, I'm fine with all those guys. Well, after I get through doing this, I'll probably combine a lot of those guys in Pittsburgh, PA. And I might combine those guys as well. 1st Delaware. Franklin French's Brigade, 8th U.S. Engineer, Artillery, Supply, Northeastern Army, Runyon's Force, Camp Dick Robinson. Oh. Where was he? What the hell's he doing there? We'll fix him too. Cairo Force. Butler. He's cooling his heels in Norfolk, Virginia, I believe. Yeah, we just went through them all. So, a couple of things I want to do before I do execute the next turn. I want to do that. So 248 is a decent amount to oppose that guy, and I'm entrenched pretty well, actually. I'm entrenched three entrenchments, so that's not too bad. Pennsylvania, 10th Pennsylvania. See, this is, oops, where is it? Oh, J. Mansfield's force. That was called Patterson, I think, force, but then they changed its name to Mansfield when it got a chance to do it because Patterson has been recalled. And that's a pretty decent sized force. See what we can see there. And where else? Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to look at before I called it. Oh, what is this guy doing here? 1st Indiana. I won't move those guys, but I will move these guys. And we will move them here. One thing you gotta watch out about are these raiders or whoever they are that come up here into the hinterlands and cause all sorts of ruckus. I don't like them causing ruckus. Lewis L. Wallace, you need to get into the action. Alright, those were the 3 things that I noticed when I was... See, that's what I mean. If you don't cycle through every single force, you will miss something. And that's what I was doing before I cycled through all those forces. I was missing troops that were not under any command in Pittsburgh, troops that I could combine under General Schurz, and then Lewis Wallace was sitting in Rolla, Missouri, and I really didn't want him to be... Oh, wait a minute. I think I did put him there as kind of a garrison, but I think he'll be okay. But I'm still going to mate him up with Nathaniel Lyon and also John Fremont, and then we will move on Springfield, Missouri. But you got to watch out for these sneaky little bastards right here, because they'll come up here. He's going to protect me there. He's going to protect me there. But these little bastards will come up through here and slip right through and go right on through here and start taking cities and doing all sorts of shit. And it's very ahistorical for that to happen. And if you put your settings on the AI being real aggressive, they'll do crap like that. Those deep raids, and that's why they tell you to put it on non-aggressive, because most of those little units just get destroyed after a few turns because there's nothing that they can do. They're not strong enough to really take any cities, any big cities, and the small cities really aren't worth taking because they don't get you any points. They don't help your victory or anything. It does kind of disrupt us a little bit, but a force of 281 could take out one of those little guys fairly easy if it's commanded by anybody who is actually active, which he is not. But anyway, let's go ahead and execute this turn and see what we can see. Generating AI files. All hell's probably about ready to break loose. just because that's what usually happens when I'm playing Civil War 2, 1. One thing I've noticed, and you can just see it over here, Madisonville, Kentucky is not on a river in real life. I lived, when I was a teenager, I lived 6 miles from Madisonville, and Madisonville was not near any rivers at all. It's way too far to the north. It is not on a river at all. Look at that little bastard. He's coming. He's trying. See, they move these little cavalry fuckers, excuse my language, up here and take little towns. They're annoying as hell sometimes. See, he retreated because that force is very strong. I wonder why. One thing I want to do is rebuild the railroad. See how their force keeps getting smaller and smaller? They keep losing power. That's attrition due to the fact that we're besieging them and they can't get any supplies into that city. And hopefully we're strong enough that we can repel anything to come relieve them. I don't know how strong that guy is, but if he took that force that was in here and added it to that force, then he's about a power of 800. And that 800 under Joseph E. Johnston is probably pretty strong, but I think I have a entrenchment of 3. I should be able to repel anything that he does. And I'm pretty sure I have moved this guy out of here, but I don't know if he wanted to move. Or maybe there was more than one guy in there, I'm not sure. But I'm going to call this episode to a close. It's running about 40 minutes long or so, I guess. And the next episode is going to be a turn. See how they're sieging Cairo. And I have a larger force, a stronger force in Cairo. What's this guy? Oh, Halleck. He's another worthless guy. So what I need to do, he's active. "10 days. We'll see if we can't it won't let them sortie, but it will let them sortie. I don't know if they sortie when the McClellan's troops get there, or if they sortie as soon as possible, but I don't know. I'm probably going to end up losing. Although they have no commander. So we'll find out next turn. But I have to do something about these troops. These troops, this happens every time. They start coming across the river and coming across the border all up and down in Kentucky. What I was saying was, this is Madisonville. It is not, it is not on the Green River, and it is not on whatever river this is. It says it's Warwick Creek, but I think it's a bigger river than that. Madisonville, Kentucky is actually, this is land between the lakes. That's where my brother-in-law still goes and hunts. But Madisonville, Kentucky was more down in this area right here, I believe. Or, no, that's Tennessee. Trigg, Kentucky. What the hell is that? I don't remember Trigg. I believe it was in this area, to be honest. Just a little ways away from Bowling Green, but pretty far away from the river. And probably on this road right here, whatever road this is, it probably became part of the, the road system later on. But I told the developers that Madisonville was not really in the right place, but I don't think it detracts from the gameplay. It's just you usually have situations like that where a town or something is misspelled or it's in the wrong place, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm sure there was some other city or town that was right there that controlled that little convergence. It's just that they got a little mixed up and put Madisonville right there. So anyway, I'm bringing the episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching. This is episode 3 of my Let's Play Civil War II. I'm Gilmer, and please click like. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and leave some comments because I will definitely reply to them. I don't reply every single time to that random gamer or Tom Flamang, but usually I reply. It's just sometimes I don't, but I'll usually reply to somebody who's pretty new. Definitely there because I want to build interest in these games. So I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.